Hello, terrifying truth seekers, and welcome back to Animal Facts. Today, we're diving deep into the wild, shedding light on the creatures that pose the greatest threat to us, the human species. You might think you know the deadliest animals out there, the apex predators, the ones with razor-sharp teeth and crushing jaws.
But prepare to have your perceptions challenged, because this countdown is full of surprises. We're not just talking about the animals that can kill you, but the ones that do, year after year, claiming lives across the globe. Some are massive, some are minuscule, and some are closer to home than you think. This isn't just about sensationalism. It's about understanding the hidden dangers of our world and respecting the power of nature. So buckle up. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because we're about to unveil the top 10 deadliest animals to humans. And trust me, the number 1 spot will absolutely shock you. Kicking off our terrifying top 10 at number 10, we have an animal that, to many, seems like a gentle giant, the hippopotamus. But don't let their seemingly docile appearance fool you. These massive, semi-aquatic mammals are in fact one of Africa's most dangerous creatures. Weighing up to 3,300 pounds and capable of running surprisingly fast both on land and in water, hippos are incredibly territorial and aggressive. They spend most of their days submerged in rivers and lakes to protect their sensitive skin from the sun, but come nightfall, they emerge to graze. It's during these movements, or when their territory is threatened, that conflicts with humans most often occur. A male hippo will fiercely defend its patch of water, and a mother hippo protecting her calf can be absolutely relentless. Their powerful jaws can crush a small boat, and their immense teeth are designed to ripping and tearing. Many victims drown after their boats are capsized or are brutally attacked on land. So, next time you see a hippo, remember, admire from a very safe distance. Their yawn might look cute, but it's a warning. Coming in at number 9, another seemingly gentle giant, the African elephant. Often revered for their intelligence and majesty, elephants are also responsible for a significant number of human fatalities each year. While often unprovoked, the sheer size and strength of these magnificent creatures make any conflict incredibly dangerous. Measuring up to 13 feet tall and weighing over 13,000 pounds, an adult elephant can easily trample a human or deliver a fatal blow with its trunk or tusks. Most human-elephant encounters that turn deadly occur due to habitat encroachment, where expanding human settlements push into traditional elephant migration routes and feeding grounds. Farmers protecting their crops or people accidentally stumbling upon a herd can trigger aggressive defensive behavior. A charging elephant is an unstoppable force of nature. It's a somber reminder of the delicate balance between human expansion and wildlife preservation.
We turn our gaze to one of the planet's most ancient and formidable predators, the crocodile. Found in tropical regions across Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Americas, these cold-blooded reptiles are ambush hunters perfected over millions of years. Both freshwater and saltwater crocodiles are incredibly dangerous, but the Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile are particularly notorious. With an incredible bite force, the strongest of any living animal, and the ability to move with surprising speed both in and out of the water, crocodiles are opportunists. They lie in wait, barely visible, then explode into action, dragging their unsuspecting prey underwater to drown them. Many deaths occur near riverbanks and lake shores, where people are fetching water, fishing, or simply unaware of the silent threat lurking beneath the surface. Their stealth, power, and ancient predatory instincts make them truly terrifying. Now prepare for a shift in scale, because at number 7 we have a killer that you can't even see with the naked eye, the Ascaris roundworm. This might come as a shock, but these parasitic worms are responsible for thousands of deaths annually. making them far deadlier than many of the large predators we've discussed. Ascaris lumbricoides is the largest human intestinal nematode. Infection, known as ascariasis, occurs when a person ingests the microscopic eggs of the worm, often through contaminated food or water, especially in areas with poor sanitation. Once ingested, the eggs hatch in the intestine, and the larvae migrate through the body, eventually reaching the lungs and then the throat where they are swallowed again, maturing in the intestines. A heavy worm burden can lead to severe malnutrition, stunted growth, intestinal blockages, and even perforation, which can be fatal. It's a stark reminder that some of the greatest threats are biological, not always big and toothy. And speaking of unseen killers, coming in at number 6, we have another unassuming contender, the freshwater snail. Yes, a snail, but it's not the snail itself that's dangerous. It's the microscopic parasites they carry, specifically parasitic flatworms that cause a devastating disease called schistosomosis, also known as snail fever or bilharzia. These tiny snails release larval forms of the parasite, called cercaria, into the water. When humans come into contact with contaminated freshwater, perhaps while swimming, washing clothes, or farming, these cercaria penetrate the skin. Once inside the body, they mature into adult worms that live in the blood vessels, laying eggs that can cause chronic inflammation and organ damage, particularly in the bladder, intestines, liver, and spleen. The long-term effects can be debilitating and, if left untreated, fatal. This disease is prevalent in tropical and subtropical regions, particularly in communities with limited access to safe water and sanitation.
At number 5, we encounter another insect with a deceptively benign name, the assassin bug, or more colloquially, the kissing bug. These nocturnal, blood-feeding insects are found primarily in Central and South America, and they are vectors for the parasite Trypanosoma cruzi, which causes Chagas disease. The name kissing bug comes from their tendency to bite humans on the face, often around the lips, while they sleep. However, it's not the bite itself that transmits the disease. The parasite is found in the bug's feces, which the bug often deposits near the bite wound. The infection occurs when the person inadvertently rubs the feces into the bite or into their eyes or mouth. While the initial symptoms might be mild, Chagas disease can lead to chronic, life-threatening heart and digestive problems years or even decades later. It's a silent, insidious killer responsible for thousands of deaths annually.
Swarming in at number 4, we have a small but incredibly deadly insect, the tsetse fly. Endemic to sub-Saharan Africa, these flies are responsible for transmitting trypanosomiasis, more commonly known as African sleeping sickness. Tsetse flies are bloodsuckers, much like mosquitoes, and when they bite an infected human or animal, they pick up the parasites. These parasites then multiply within the fly and are transmitted to the next host when the fly takes another blood meal. African sleeping sickness is a debilitating disease that, if left untreated, is almost always fatal. Symptoms progress from fever and headaches to neurological problems, including confusion, tremors, and severe sleep disturbances, eventually leading to coma and death. The disease not only claims thousands of lives, but also has a significant impact on public health and economic development in affected regions.
This one might surprise and even sadden many of you. At number 3, it's man's best friend, the dog. But before you get upset, it's not typically direct attacks that make dogs so deadly. The vast majority of dog-related fatalities are due to the transmission of a horrific and almost universally fatal disease, rabies. Rabies is a viral disease that affects the central nervous system. While any mammal can carry rabies, dogs are the primary source of human rabies deaths, particularly in parts of Asia and Africa. The virus is transmitted through the saliva of infected animals, usually via a bite, Once symptoms appear, which can take weeks or even months after exposure, the disease is almost certainly fatal. Symptoms include fever, headache, muscle weakness, and behavioral changes, progressing to delirium, hallucinations, and eventually paralysis and death. The good news is that rabies is entirely preventable with vaccination of dogs and prompt post-exposure prophylaxis for humans. But in regions where these measures are lacking, the dog remains a tragic and deadly threat. Slithering into the number 2 spot, we have a creature that instills primal fear in many: the snake. With estimates ranging from tens of thousands to well over 100,000 deaths annually, venomous snakes are undeniably one of the deadliest animals to humans. Across the globe, from the arid deserts to dense jungles, countless species of venomous snakes pose a threat. The deadliest include the saw-scaled viper, various cobras, Russell's viper, and the black mamba, notorious for its speed and highly potent neurotoxic venom. A single bite can cause excruciating pain, tissue damage, paralysis, and organ failure. Many victims live in rural areas with limited access to anti-venom, making a bite a death sentence. Beyond venom, larger constrictors like pythons can also pose a threat, though fatalities are far less common. This is one fear that is entirely rational. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the animal that claims more human lives than any other, year after year, by a staggering margin. At number 1, it is the humble, ubiquitous, and incredibly deadly mosquito. Yes, that tiny, annoying insect buzzing in your ear, the one you swat away without a second thought, is the single most dangerous animal on Earth to humans. Mosquitoes don't kill directly. They are vectors transmitting a multitude of devastating diseases. The most notorious is malaria, a parasitic disease that causes hundreds of thousands of deaths annually, predominantly among children in sub-Saharan Africa. But it doesn't stop there. Mosquitoes also spread dengue fever, yellow fever, Zika virus, West Nile virus, and various forms of encephalitis, collectively responsible for millions of illnesses and hundreds of thousands of deaths each year.
Consider this: every 2 minutes, a child dies from malaria. This tiny insect has shaped human history, driven populations to develop resistance, and continues to be one of the greatest public health challenges globally. Their ability to adapt, reproduce rapidly, and thrive in diverse environments, combined with their role as disease carriers, makes them the undisputed champion of death in the animal kingdom. The implications of these numbers are profound. From a scientific perspective, understanding vector-borne diseases like malaria and dengue is crucial. Our focus isn't just on treating the illness, but on controlling the vector itself. Innovations in mosquito control, from insecticide-treated bed nets to developing new vaccines and gene editing technologies, are vital. It's a continuous battle against an incredibly adaptable adversary. This isn't just about protecting ourselves, it's about global health security and safeguarding future generations. And there you have it, the definitive top 10 deadliest animals to humans. Were you surprised by any of the entries? Let us know in the comments below. It's a humbling thought that some of the greatest threats aren't the roaring lions or snapping crocodiles, but the silent, unseen carriers of disease. This countdown highlights the intricate and sometimes dangerous relationship we share with the natural world. It underscores the importance of public health initiatives, conservation efforts, and scientific research. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss our next thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember to always appreciate the power and complexity of the animal kingdom.